stars CP has two extremely smart kids who are entrepreneurs and not following in on his footsteps, and an amazingly creative wife who makes documentaries and loves art. Whereas our KTR, much favorite, drives a car better than Jason Statham, and he apparently hijacked the car that had come to drive him and drove it himself. At 40 degrees, there were thousands of fans waiting outside, and he waved to every single one of them. We've seen him, we love him. So please put your hands together for both these gentlemen debating the 5 trillion economy.
And the good news is, the growth is not only in services, the growth is not only in manufacturing, the growth is not only in IT, the growth is also in agriculture, and more importantly, it has been an inclusive growth. So I just want to learn from you, sir, and actually all of us, that why is it the economist view on India at 5% is, of more of disbelief regarding 5 trillion, and why is it that if Telangana can grow at 10%, what can we learn from Telangana?
Thank you, CP. CP, firstly, 2 things. I've said this to the Honorable Prime Minister as well. In fact, he had called all the presidents of all the political parties, and he wanted to do an in-camera kind of a deliberation consultation exercise, and he asked us 2 pertinent questions. He said, firstly, it would be 75 years of Indian independence in 2022, and also the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, our father of our nation. So, एक नया भारत बनाना है, एक new India बनाना है, तो क्या करना चाहिए? आपका क्या राय है? What is your opinion? Is what he asked. So I said, sir, I believe in the 3I mantra. If India really has to propel itself into the 5 trillion, the 10 trillion, the 15, 20, whatever numbers we can throw up, if we really have to get to that stage, I believe in the 3I mantra. The first I is innovation. India cannot afford to miss out on the innovation piece and the breakneck speed at which innovation is happening in our country today, in the world today. India cannot lose that opportunity. We have to do a lot more on innovation. A lot more. What do I mean, lot more? What I mean is, in Hyderabad, in Telangana, we've done a T-Hub, we've done a T-Works. We are now going to have, in fact, by July, the world's largest technology incubator in Hyderabad. And we would be continuing this, in terms of innovating the tech space, innovation in... We look at innovation in 3 levels. The tech innovation, the ecosystem innovation, and also the corporate innovation. What do I mean corporate innovation? We have companies like UTC, we have companies like Boeing, we have companies like Carlsberg, etc., who work with our innovators in Hyderabad, who are looking to see how they can reshape and how they can disrupt their legacy processes. It's not just about tech innovation. I'm talking innovation socially. I'm talking innovation which is inclusive. All of these, India cannot afford to miss. That's the first point. The second thing, infrastructure. The second I in my 3I mantra is infrastructure. Unfortunately, India's growth, while it has slowed down in the last couple of years, is still happening at such a furious pace that our infrastructure is not able to keep pace with it. The fact is, a city like Bangalore, a city like Hyderabad, which are growing faster because of largely thanks to the IT industry, which are growing at a breakneck speed today, are unable to cope up with the speed of growth. That's why you see the infrastructure crumbling. India's urban infrastructure especially is crumbling. What do we do for this? A state like Telangana, what have we done? From 2004 until 2014, before the state of Telangana was formed, the total money that was spent by the state in the Telangana region on capital expenditure and creating new assets was hardly 54,000 crores. 10 साल के समय में जब यूनाइटेड आंध्र प्रदेश का गवर्नमेंट था, तेलंगाना रीजन में 10 साल में उन्होंने spend किया 54,000 crores. Whereas our government, after we came into office in 2014, between 2014 and 19, in the last 5 years, we have spent 1,64,000 crores on capital expenditure, on creating infrastructure. What do I mean infrastructure? We have created the world's largest lift irrigation project in Telangana in a span of 3 years. We have invested into making our state a power surplus state. And we've also invested in making sure each and every home in Telangana has a portable drinking water connection. We've spent $9 billion for this project, but we've completed it. So this is the kind of work, if each and every state picks up, with the support of Government of India, with the support of cheaper capital, from across the world, I think that's when this infrastructure infusion, this infrastructure augmentation will again take us forward. And the last I in my 3I mantra, which I've enunciated to Honorable Prime Minister, is inclusive growth. India cannot just grow in its cities. India cannot just grow on, its large metros. We have to take care of our smaller towns. We also have to take care of our villages. We cannot, again, operate in isolation. We have to be inclusive in our growth opportunities. And see, I'm glad, I'm delighted. I have, two gentlemen sitting here who've opened an office, a center in a tier 2 location in Warangal, the second largest town in Telangana. Both Tech Mahindra and Cyient have opened their large centers. I'm thankful to them for that. I think time has come for the IT industry also to think, and Nasscom also to think. 25 years ago, when the industry was taking shape in India, the IT industry focused on the larger towns, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Pune, etc. But I think time has come now, 2020. The larger towns can focus on emerging technologies. The larger towns can focus on the cutting edge research and development work that needs to be done. All the high tech stuff that has to happen. But the smaller towns, the tier 2 towns, have abundant talent. And in fact, in my humble opinion, I believe there is a lot more fire in the belly in the smaller towns. So therefore, I'm sure Tech Mahindra and Cyient can move to a smaller town like Warangal and start their enterprises very efficiently and work very, very robustly. There's no reason why the other IT players in the country can't provide more opportunities to our tier 2 town youngsters. So, what do I say? I just don't mean the rural-urban divide with respect to inclusive growth. I also would like to see more women in the workforce. I also would like to see more opportunities being given to the downtrodden. See, we have several schemes in Telangana. We have a V-Hub, a Women Entrepreneurs Hub. It is India's only hub which focuses on women entrepreneurs. We also have specific programs tailored toward Dalit entrepreneurs. We have specific tailored programs aimed at tribal entrepreneurs. So unless we create a large pool of entrepreneurs and innovators from various sections of the society, I don't think, I'm a very, very optimistic person, but I'm an impatient optimist. Dr. Rangarajan, who's the former RBI governor, he was pointing out to a couple of things. He said, this whole idea of 5 trillion economy is all good on paper. But unfortunately, we've lost a couple of good years. 2018-19 and 2017-18 were bad, in the sense of slowdown that has really affected all sectors, be it industry, be it services, be it manufacturing, or even agriculture and allied sectors, which is a fact. Government of India may not like to admit to the fact that there is a slowdown, but the numbers show it. Whether we like it or not, the numbers are there for all of us to see. Since we've missed out on 2 good years, if we really have to now go back and catch that train and make it to 5 trillion by 2024-25, we have to grow at 10%. We can't afford to grow at 8% or 7.5% anymore. If that has to happen, I think this 3I mantra has to play out across the country. The Telangana model has to be emulated by each and every state. And as each and every state emulates it, obviously more and more infusion into infrastructure, more and more capital expenditure, more and more assets being created. I think that's the only way forward for us to be able to reach that mark. Having said that, Government of India needs to do a couple of things. See, today as a state, we have spent about 1,64,000 crores, like I said, in the last 5 years on capital creation, capital asset creation. But did Government of India help me? Unfortunately, no. That's a blunt answer. I think Government of India needs to shed its inhibitions with respect to FRBM limits that are imposed on a state. Today, my state's debt to GSDP ratio is at 20%. But if you look at a country like US, if you look at a country like Japan, we all know the size of American economy, we all know the size of Japanese economy, but they still continue to borrow. Their debt GDP ratio in America is 102%. The debt GDP ratio of Japan is over 200%. But debt GDP ratio of India as a country is around 48%. Debt GSDP ratio of my state is 20%. And I'm accused as a state, even though I invest in capital creation, asset creation, I'm accused of borrowing a lot, I'm accused of not actually doing what I should be doing, which is trimming my expenditure. This whole conservative mindset, this whole imposing barriers in the way of states' growth. Department of Economic Affairs, for instance, they don't let us borrow directly from foreign institutions. They want us to go through them. And typically it's not allowed, it's disallowed. If we want to bring, see, I don't want to name names, but we had an investor from the Middle East who wanted to invest $10 billion in our state. He wanted to loan it to various infrastructure projects. Government of India did not let it happen. So these are the things they need to get out of. Government of India needs to be an enabler. They need to actually look at giving us access to more capital. Only then, I think, we'll be able to reach that mark. Like I said, I'm optimistic, but it's going to be challenging.
Hi, hello, I'm singer ML Shruti. Please subscribe GNN.